So today we're here to talk about Flipgrid. And I'm going to go over today. What I will do is go over with you how to create a Flipgrid educator account. If you don't have one already, I will go over how to create groups inside of Flipgrid, which replaces grids. They used to be called grids. So if you're used to using grids, the grids have kind of been replaced by the word groups. They do serve the same purpose, and I think in the long run, the word groups is better suited. I think grids was a little bit confusing, and that's why they changed the name of it to groups. And then I will also show you how to create topics, which are kind of like underneath a group, which you can have as many topics in a group as you want. We will also look at shorts, something called shorts, Flipgrid shorts, which is great. It allows for you to record videos and also record your screen. We will go through all the features when you record a video inside of Flipgrid, as well as when your students record a video inside of Flipgrid. We're going to go over all the ways that you can maintain control of the videos that are posted in your Flipgrid by your students. And there are a lot of controls that you will have access to. So I will go over all of those. And there will be time to discuss how we're going to use our Flipgrid in our classrooms. And I do have a lot of resources that I can share with you for getting ways to get ideas. So there is something called the Disco Library or the Discovery Library. So we'll take a look at that. And then there's also an educator network that you can reach out and connect with educators from around the country and from around the world and see how they're using Flipgrid in their classroom for your particular subject area or area of interest. So there's a lot of ways that you can use Flipgrid and a lot of resources to help you get more and more ideas. And we did come up with some great ideas in the last training that I did with I had almost 40 people in that training, so it was pretty good. It went very well, and there were a lot of ideas generated, even for the fact that we figured out a way that a group teachers within a certain department across schools, like Spanish department, could create a group called the Spanish department group, and all of you, as you come up with your topics, as they come up with their topics, if they add those topics to that group and make all of the teachers co-pilots, if you all become co-pilots in that group, you'll have access to each other's topics and ideas, and it's kind of a nice way to share, whether it be across elementary schools or even across grade levels in the high school or subject areas, or from high school to middle school, and get that collaboration going as well. So I'll show you how you can go about doing that. So we have a lot to go over. Okay, so what is Flipgrid? Well, Flipgrid is free software, online software. I like to think of it as like video social learning kind of come together to allow students to speak at their own level and at their own level of comfort. Not every student has to put their face forward in a Flipgrid. There are other ways that they can kind of mask themselves and slowly get over their camera shyness, so to speak. So in general, Flipgrid empowers every learner on the planet to share their voice and respect the diverse voices of others. It really gets students to come out of their shell, so to speak, and share about a topic, whatever that topic is. And there are many different topics that you can post for a Flipgrid. And it gives them a unique way to do it and a safe environment for them to do it, which is why I love Flipgrid. Here's just a little video.
Hi, everybody. Today we're here to learn about Flipgrid. What is Flipgrid? It's a free video discussion platform from Microsoft that helps educators see and hear from all of their students in their classes. And the reason why I love Flipgrid is because it's a lot of fun for teachers as well as for students to participate in a safe social learning type of environment. How do you get started with Flipgrid? Well, as a teacher, it's very simple. You create a topic on anything that you want, anything you can think of, and then you post that topic, and you might create a video like I'm creating now to introduce and kick off your topic and show your students what you're expecting them to do. And then students are given a link, and through that link, they don't even need to create a Flipgrid account. Through that link, they then record their videos and post their videos to these grids that are housed inside inside of the topics. So today during our training, we'll go through how to create your own account, how to set up topics, and how to start collecting Flipgrids from all of your students. And I have a lot of great examples from our middle school. We used this during our field week and our spirit weeks last year, and it went over very well in our school. So I'm really excited to share everything with you today. Bye.
Okay, so that was created in Flipgrid using the Shorts feature, which I will show you. What's nice about the Shorts feature is the video, if you, as the teacher, you're able to download that video and save it on your Google Drive and then import it in something like a Google Slide, or use it however you want, add it right to your Google Classroom. So it doesn't have to just live inside of Flipgrid. It actually allows you to record that video. Here's a little getting started for educators overview.
Welcome to Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a simple, free, and accessible video discussion experience for pre-K to PhD educators, learners, and families. In Flipgrid, educators post discussion prompts and learners respond with short videos. To get started, go to flipgrid.com and click Educator Sign Up to create a free Flipgrid account with Microsoft or Google. Once you've signed up, start the discussion by creating your first topic. Your topic can reflect on a chapter of reading, demonstrate an exercise routine, share a hypothesis, anything. I'll make this as simple as share one of your favorite discoveries. Add anything you want your learners to review prior to responding, such as links and videos, to foster enriching inquiry. You can also set the maximum recording time and choose to moderate your topic, meaning video responses will be hidden from your community until you approve them. Your topic is private to your learning community. Add the email domain of your learners, that's everything after the @ symbol in their email, or create a student list for younger learners. Add a guest password if you want to invite families or experts into your discussion. When you're ready, share with your learning community. All they need is this unique code. They can enter the code on the free Flipgrid app or on any computer with a webcam via the Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome browser at flipgrid.com. You can also copy and share this Flipgrid join link wherever you connect with your community, including Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, and Remind. After clicking the unique link or entering the code, your learners will log in either with their Microsoft or Google account or the ID you created for them. Once in, they can see your prompt, access the text with a powerful immersive reader, and when they're ready, click record to add a video with the simple, fun, social media style Flipgrid camera. Share these steps with your community by sharing the Getting Started Students video.
All right, so that's a little overview of how you get started in Flipgrid. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to log in. It mentioned it in the video there. It's very simple to create an account. You go to flipgrid.com. We're going to click on Educator Sign Up and use our Google logins, and you'll be in a second. And then from there, I'm going to show you how to create a group, which was formerly called Grids. And it is still like grids, but they're called groups. And basically it allows learners to access multiple topics with a single join code. So your groups can kind of be labeled according to your classes. So if you teach ELA grade 9, you can title that group ELA grade 9 period 1 as a group title. And then you can have a period 2 if you teach grade 9, period 2. And any topics that you post for that particular class, if they go to that group, there's a group code, and I'll show you the group code. All the topics will be listed under there. They'll be able to see all the topics at once. Also, you have the option to not create groups and just randomly create a topic and share the topic code, and they would only have access to the topic that you give them the code for. I like to use groups because over the year, you're probably going to want to create more than one topic for a group of your students. So I'll show you how to do that. And let's take a look over here. Let's go right into Flipgrid. So like we said, we're going to flipgrid.com. And right here in the upper right-hand corner, we're clicking on the Educator Sign Up button. Oh, let me log out. I'm in my account. So sign up today. And then right down here, we're clicking on the blue login for Google. And we're going to use our school email address to create our account. And it takes a moment, and then you'll be in your dashboard in your account. And you'll see right here, you have your topics and your groups. And you can have an unlimited number of groups and topics. There's no limit to any of them. So I'm going to walk you through how to create a group. and how to set up the features and all of the things inside a group and how to share a group and those kinds of things. So right here we have create a group button. It's pretty easy. We click it and we're using private versus public group. I keep my groups private. Groups allow participants to join a discussion with multiple topics. You use private groups for class discussions and public groups for broader discussions. So for the most part, you're going to be using private groups. I haven't really used public groups. That might be if you're using something and you want to appeal to parents and get parents involved in doing some kind of interaction. But for the most part, the group is going to be private. So create the group name. Like I said, it could be a period name. It could be related to, I'm going to name this Flipgrid training. I'll just name it that. And then right here is a join code. It defaults to a join code, but you can change that and customize it. So if I go Flipgrid train, and then I'll say Fort Lee, it's available. So that would be my customized code. So you can customize your code. And then right down here, how do you want your students to be able to join or see this group and access this group? 2 options, usernames or emails. I do not recommend usernames. It takes a lot of time to do that. Email is very easy. All our students in our district have an email address. It's their student ID at FLBOE. So let's hit next. And then right here, you're going to add in the @FLBOE. As long as that @FLBOE is there, that's called our domain address or email domain address. Then anyone with that @FLBOE.com domain will be able to access the group if they have the group link, okay, with the group link. Guest password, this is optional. You can add a password for families and guests if you want them to also join the group, whether it be to view or to participate in activities of any kind. Basically, I would probably just, do Fort Lee 20 or something very simple as my password for this, if that's what you wanted. If you don't, then you don't share that password and no one outside of your class without the FLBOE will be able to access the group. I'm going to say no thanks. Right here, this is really nice. What you can do is if you have topics that you've already created in other groups or not even associated to a group, you can kind of link them right here and you can have them, duplicated. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start from scratch, but it does avoid from having to start from scratch. I'm going to skip that. And right now, here is my group. Here's my group link. This is how students would access this. If they wanted to see my group, Flipgrid train Fort Lee. So I'm going to go to flipgrid.com just to show you and enter a join code right here on the page. Oops. Let me make sure I got that. Control C, Control V, and join with Google, join. And right here, I'm in now I'm in as a student on the Flipgrid training. So I'm going to leave that open for us to kind of go back to. I can share this code or this link out via a QR code. If you're not familiar with what a QR code is, it's just like a random scramble. And behind that is really a link to a website. You can take maybe you've seen it recently if you've gone to restaurants for outdoor dining. Instead of them giving out menus, they may post a QR code either on the table or somewhere when you enter, and you just scan it with your camera and it will link to a website that has a copy of the menu. So it's kind of neat to use. You can take these QR codes, you can download the QR code or right click and copy it. It's an image and you can post that anywhere so that your students, like in a PowerPoint or a Google slide like I have, and then students can actually scan with their camera on their phone and it would take them to this particular group. And there are QR codes for topics as well. I'll show you that when we create a topic. There is an embed code. So if you're into website design and you want to embed the actual group page, okay, this page right here in a website, you can do that by getting the embed code. Most of us probably will not use the embed code. We'll probably use the link, which is up here, or this is Microsoft Teams. We don't do that in our school, but we will probably do a share to Google Classroom, brings it up here, loads all of your classes, For some reason, my pop-up here isn't working well today. I don't know what that is, but your classes would load. You would select your class. Oh, there it is. It finally loaded. It took a while. You would find your class, professional development, choose the action. Do you want it as an announcement, as a material, as an assignment, whatever it is, a question? Let me just make sure I didn't freeze. Nope. Okay. And then hit go, and it would bring you to the interface in Google Classroom where you could title it, add your description, and it has a link to that group right there. So that's really neat. You can post that, and it's very instantaneous, and it links and syncs right with Google Classroom. For those of you who are familiar with Remind and you have a Remind count, you can also share through Remind, and then of course create reminders about your groups and or your topics that you're posting. So that's there once you have your group. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to my group. I'm in my Flipgrid training, and there's no topics yet because it's a brand new group and there's no students here. Here's my join code that we created. I can add a co-pilot. So a co-pilot is a teacher that I want to add and give access to so that that particular teacher can edit the group. They can create topics, review videos, and provide feedback to students. So if you work with a co-teacher and or even across, you know, within a department, and you want others in the department to have access to your groups and or your topics, you can add them as a co-pilot. And you simply enter in the educator's email, and then you would click on invite, and they would get an invite email, and they would just have to accept that invitation, and then they would be a co-pilot for that particular group in your Flipgrid. So that's a neat feature. Let me go over here and show you. This is the share button, basically brings you back to that link that we just created and all of these options for sharing out to Google Classroom, etc. Over here under actions, we have the add co-pilots. We have duplicate group. This is really effective for when you know you have 5 periods and you get everything, and I'll show you how to do the settings. You get all of your settings perfect in this group here, and you don't want to have to go and do that again and again and again. You can just duplicate the group, and then you can change the group name and make a few little tweaks here and there, but essentially you're not starting from scratch. Group notifications, if we click on that, this is going to send you an email notification when new videos are submitted to this particular group, any topics under this group. How often do you want those email notifications? If you don't want them, you can select never. They default to daily, weekly, or every new video. I don't recommend every new video because if you have 100 students and they start posting videos, that's 100 emails you're getting. That's a lot of emails. So maybe you want like a daily, a weekly, or a never. If you know you're just going to log in and check the videos on your dashboard, then you don't need any kind of notices. So depending on your preferences, you would hit update there under that action. This is for Teams, which we don't use. Export data, you're probably not going to use that. And the delete group, that's if you want to get rid of the group altogether. Let's look at the edit group, which is here and here, because you can do a lot of fine tuning with what you want the group to be able to see your students in the group. So once again, we have the title of the group. You can change that at any time, up to 45 characters. Here's your join code that you can customize. It is private right now, and we can see that it's referencing the Fort Lee email addresses. Guest password is set. We can edit if we like it and update the password and change it. And then we come down here to where we have the features. So right now, our group is active. It is not hidden, okay? So an active group means that it can be seen by others with the link. When they go to the link, they will be taken to the group as we see over here. If I change this to hidden and I hide the group, when I try to go to the link, let's try it again, there are no topics in this group. Contact your educator. You'll see that everything got hidden inside of there. So they're seeing Flipgrid training, but they're not seeing any of the topics. So let me go back to active, update group. And I might not have hit update group before. 1 second. Yeah, wait a minute. Let me try it again. I did that incorrectly. Let me go in here to edit group, and we'll do hidden again. There we go. Hide group, update group. There we go. Now let's go in here There we go. Join code not found. So now my group is hidden. Nobody can see my group. Okay, that is not a valid group. I would need to come back into here, edit it again, and come down here and go from hidden to active, and then make sure you hit that update group button. And then if I refresh, it will take me back into the group. So that's important. There's no topics yet though. So that's one way that we can edit and have control of our group. If we come down here, let's see, over here, group followers. So if you want to allow students to get email notifications to their Fort Lee email address when any new videos are posted, you can toggle this on. So if their classmates post a video or you post a video, more importantly, when you post a video, maybe a new topic assignment for that group, and you say, okay, here's a topic that you're going to have to respond to, they'll get an email in their Fort Lee email address notifying them that, you know, Mrs. Spawn posted a topic in their group, and they can go to Flipgrid and check it out. So you can toggle that on or off depending on your preference. Down here is how you personalize your group image. You can upload a picture, any kind of picture you want. It recommends a certain size, 1500 by 500, and you can crop it. Down here, they give you a bunch of backgrounds, people, textures for you to choose from. So feel free to kind of play around and, you know, have it match up with whatever the spirit of your group is for that particular topic. We'll go with that. And then when you come down here, you can click on update group. So that's pretty much for the group settings right there. If you want to add a topic now, that would be the next thing. So let's go quick jump back over here real quickly. So what is a topic? Well, a topic is basically a discussion prompt. And that discussion prompt can be a simple question. It can be an idea, an experiment, a debate, an exploration, anything that you can think of basically to get your students thinking and creating within Flipgrid. It can be an explanation of some kind of a concept. It can be a simple question that typically you would have them write out their answer. And a lot of times what they wind up doing is going to Google and Googling the answer and just copying and pasting. And then we get disgusted when we get those kinds of answers and we get very frustrated. Well, Flipgrid kind of takes them away from that. So if we ask questions that aren't quote unquote Googleable, if that's a word, which it's probably not, but then we can get kids talking and really thinking and diving into the content that we're teaching. And I'll show you a lot of different examples of ways other educators have used Flipgrid to kind of get students to participate at higher levels and use higher levels of thinking in their responses on their Flipgrids as well. So I'm going to show you how to do a topic. All right, so let's go in and look at the topic and how we can create a topic now that we have our first trainee, our first group. So you can add a topic right by clicking on add a topic. And basically you need a title for your topic. So I'm going to make this, how will you use Flipgrid in your class? How will, oh, let me just, this is limited. Let's do, how will you use Flipgrid? And then down here, I'll be a little bit more specific. How will you use Flipgrid? Flipgrid, I'm typing, with your students. And it could be simple question like that. Come right down here. This is the recording time. It defaults to 1.5 minutes, and you can make it go as long, give students as long as 10 minutes or as short as 15 seconds. But the default is 1.5 minutes, and usually 1.5 minutes you will find is probably just enough time. If you really want to challenge students, you can set a very short amount of recording time, 15, 30, or 45 seconds. I know Miss Malone typically does these like, I want to say like, I don't know if it's 1-word or 5-word poems. She limits the kids so that they really, I think it's maybe 5-word memoir. I think that's what she calls it. And it's very, very limited in what they have to write. And the kids really struggle because they can only choose so many words. And they're like, can't we use one more word? No. So the same kind of thing can happen if you limit the amount of time that you give students in their recording. They really have to think thoughtfully about what they're going to say or what they're going to do in the video before they submit it. If you give them too much time, you may be watching a lot of unnecessary action on their part if it's too long. But if it's something where they're really demonstrating and presenting, you may need that longer amount of time, that 5 to 10 minute kind of block there, especially with the virtual learning. This could be very helpful for presentations. The next option you have are for closed captions, and it defaults to English, but you can have the captions come up in any of these languages. Down here, we have our video moderation. This is very, very important. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. So it defaults so that all videos that come in by students are hidden. It doesn't default to that, it actually defaults that way. You have to go to green. So if you want to moderate the videos, you have to toggle this over so that when a student does a video, it doesn't automatically post to your topic and or your group until you go in and approve and activate them, okay? So I recommend that you start out like this so that students know their videos are going to be moderated, and they will get a message saying that, and I'll show you what that looks like from the student side. And then they know they can't post anything that's inappropriate, obviously, because if they do, you're not going to accept it, and they'll get, if you're grading it, they may not get a good grade and all of those things. But they know that they're not going to get away with posting something inappropriate because you are moderating it. And if you need more information about moderation, there is a link here. It goes over a little bit more about what happens and how you can hide the videos. And I'll show you some of those things as well when we go in here. As well. All right, so media, this is what we're going to add to kind of engage that like hook. What is it going to be? It could be a YouTube or a Vimeo video that kind of introduces your topic. It could be a picture that you upload. It could be a video that you've created on your phone that you upload. You could record a video right here. I can say, now my camera is not going to be, let's see if my camera is accessible. Sorry about that. Are we all still here? Yes, right? Okay. There you are. Let me do my presentation again. I'm sorry. So sorry. My internet sometimes drops out where I am. It's so annoying. Give it a second. Okay, we're back. Here we go. So anyway, we were talking about, let's go back to where we were. Let's get rid of that. And Flipgrid training. This was, all right, cancel. Confirm. Okay, let's try again. Let me see if my camera, if I can get my camera to work over here so you can see. I'm going to have to do it anyway. Am I muted still? Hide. No, I'm not muted. All right, let me hide my camera. There we go. All right, and let's see if we can get this to work. Close. All right. I am in the wrong spot here. Let's go into the training, the topic, add a topic. Oh, I lost my topic. I apologize. We lost the topic. How will okay. And then just how will you use Flipgrid with your students? All right, come back down. 1 minute. We did all of that. We turned on video moderation and we had record a video. Let's see if my camera comes on. There we go. There's my camera. Okay, so you can record your little kind of intro here for the students right from here. I can hit record. It'll count down. So I want to know how each of you will use Flipgrid with your students. Please share your ideas here. And then you would click next.
So I want to
video.
know how each of you will use.
And then you have to snap a selfie. And then hit next. And then it's complete. So now this becomes the media resource that is engaging your students on this particular topic. If you don't like it, you can delete it and select something else. They have Giphies, they have all kinds of things in there that you can select. Okay, then when we come down here, we're going to click on more options so that we can get all of the features that we can control. This is for topic access if we want to change it from the way we're accessing from FLBOE, but I don't believe we want to do that. We want to keep it at FLBOE, so we can skip that. Right here is where you can add an attachment. So you can add up to 9 external links. So if there was a website that you wanted to link to, so if I wanted to link to like Flipgrid Help and their Help Center, which is this link right here, Control-C. Just copy that link and I can paste it right here and I can add a title. I'm going to call it Flipgrid Help Center. And there's my link. If I want to add another link, and I can add so on and so forth. I can link to a Google Doc, a Google slide, anything that you think is going to help and support your students with responding to the topic. So you can add up to 9 resources there, 9 links to 9 different places. Once you're done adding that, then you have your topic status. So it defaults to active. You have 2 other statuses that you can go through. Active means that with the link to the topic, students can access it and they can respond. If you change it to frozen, frozen means students will be able to see the topic and the responses, but they will not be able to add anything to the topic. The topic has kind of been like stopped. And then hidden means that you don't want students to see it yet for whatever reason. Only you're able to access the topic and students cannot see anything in the topic. They can't, if they had the link, it wouldn't go anywhere. So I'm going to leave it active for now. You also have the ability, instead of maybe hiding it, you can, instead of doing that, you can use dates to say when the topic will be active from today all the way till whenever. Right now it's set up for never. And you can update it according to your time zone and times and all of that by clicking in here. Your topic features, this is those daily email notifications when videos are submitted. So you can change that. We saw that earlier under the groups thing. Download and share. Do you want students to be able to download and share any videos that they've made in Flipgrid after they've made that video? So if they make a video in Flipgrid and they put all these cool little stickers and all of that, and you want to allow them to download it, you can turn that, leave that on. I recommend you turn it off. They really don't need to download their Flipgrid videos. Topic followers, if you want students to get email notifications when new videos are added. So in a topic, if their peers add a video or you're adding a video in there, they would get a notification via email if that is toggled on. Down here under the videos features, these things, most of them you want to keep on. The selfies and the videos you saw just now, and I'll show you how a student will respond to this prompt. You definitely want to allow them to have selfies. That's the fun part. They usually like doing that. They'll add in a lot of these stickers and different things, that then little emojis, and they have fun with that. So selfies and videos, if you only want them to do selfies, you don't want them to do video at all, only selfies, or none there. I do this, that would be only audio recording. Really, there's nothing visual happening, and I don't recommend that. That's kind of defeats the purpose of Flipgrid. But selfies and videos is the default. Video comments allows students to reply via video to another student. So this is really how you can get conversations going among students within the same class or across classes, depending on how you set up your groups and the links that you share with students. You could have students responding to other students in other classes. So now it's not just your period 1 students who are getting to know each other. It's your periods 1, 2, 3, and 7 students who all can be participating in a group. and answering and responding in the topic and responding to each other. So if there were a prompt on a topic, and even the one I just gave to all of you, how will you use this with your students? You would reply, you know, I'm going to use it like this. And then you would reply to someone else that left a response and say, wow, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. I would probably take that and modify it for language arts or the library and make it to work for my students in this way. And then you get students kind of looking at what someone else and listening to what someone else has said and done, and then thinking about how that they can connect with that, and then they respond in video as well. So it creates a lot of conversation. Students like this as well because it kind of, and you'll notice this mirrors social media that they're used to, but it's social media, safe social media, because we're able to moderate everything. The view count down here, display the number of views a video has received. If you want that to be seen or not, you toggle. Sticky notes, this allows students to add sticky notes while they are recording. Sticky notes, and I'll show you when we do a recording as a student, are very, very helpful when you have students that are maybe doing, like if they're doing a newscast for a science class on the weather, and you're covering weather around the world, and you want them to pretend that they are forecasters for a certain country and describe, you know, do a newscast. They may have a script that they've written, and the last thing you want to do is have students doing a Flipgrid and looking down like this at a piece of paper and reading from notes. That's just going to make it horrible. So the sticky note feature, and I'll show you when we get there, allows the students to kind of type in either a script or even just a bulleted list. As I like to show the students, hey, just put a quick list, say my name, say my country, tell the weather, like just like that. They don't have to write down every detail, but that little sticky note can guide them when they're creating their video so that they don't keep making mistakes and having to re-record and re-record over and over again. And what's nice is the sticky note will appear right on the screen in front of the student, but it will not get recorded. So only the student sees that, and it really helps guide them when they're creating their videos. So definitely recommend that you turn that feature on. Video editing, same thing. This allows students to trim, cut, delete, rearrange their clips in their responses. So there really is no downside to having them edit their video. It's a very simple editor. It's not confusing at all. Attachments, you saw that I was able to include an attachment. This allows students to include an attachment to, maybe in addition to the video, they had to fill out some kind of a Google Doc or do some other part of the project. And they can link to that particular other project or other piece of information that connects with what they're doing in their video message by attaching a link. So if you want to allow students to attach a link to their response, leave that on. And the last one, which defaults to off, is the likes, which allows students to like other student videos. So if you don't mind having students kind of give a thumbs up, they can't give a thumbs down, so there's no negative feedback. It's just basically like a thumbs up in a positive way. Then you can turn that on as well. I'll turn it on for now. Down here is feedback from you, the teacher, to the student. So it defaults to basic, which gives you a rubric based on ideas and performance, and it's just basically like a scale. You know, you give them a number right there. Or you can do custom feedback, and you can edit and add criteria of your choosing and determine like a minimum and a maximum score. Maybe it's 0 to 10, 0 to 5, or it's out of 100, whatever it is. And you can add that criteria, and it creates a rubric that when you go to give feedback to the student videos, you can quickly check it off and fill it out right within Flipgrid. You don't have to do like a separate grading kind of rubric outside of Flipgrid. So I like that as well. And the students get the feedback in their dashboard. Students are only able to see their own feedback, not feedback that you give to other students. For, you know, if you give a student, you know, a 5 out of 10, the other students aren't going to see that they got a 5 out of 10 as well. Once you have all of these settings ready to go, you can click on Create Topic. If you think these settings are the ones you're going to use for most of your topics, you can set these as your default settings as well before you click Create Topic, and then click on Create Topic. And just like in the group, you have the ability to copy the link to that particular topic and share it out. So we can copy that. You can use the QR code generator to share the embed code. You can share it right to Google Classroom right here as well and pick one of your classes. or you can do the Remind app as well. So all set. One little, just to let you know, because we had a teacher, she created an assignment in Google Classroom to complete the Flipgrid. And then when she came in Flipgrid, she shared it to Classroom as an assignment. So she wound up having 2 assignments in her classroom. So if you're going to use this share out feature, which I recommend, then you would not need to go into Google Classroom and create a separate assignment, because you can create the assignment right from inside of Flipgrid, and it will post it as an assignment in Flipgrid. So if I click here and I choose action, I can choose create assignment, and then it'll bring me where I fill in all of my details like any other assignment, and there's my link to that particular topic in my Flipgrid. So you only have to do that once.
Cian?
Yes.
I have a question. On the bottom, I saw that it said something about pronunciation and it had a little editing pencil. What is that for?
Let's see where that was.
At the very bottom.
Did not see that. Pronunciation. Inside the topic when we were editing?
Yes, when you were, right, when you were doing the edits all the way at the bottom.
Let me go down. Let's say. Where do we see pronunciation? I didn't see pronunciation. Performance, that I saw.
Was it performance? I thought it said, oh.
I don't think it's pronunciation. They will read the
Pardon me.
directions.
If you click custom feedback,
Let me
Yeah,
see.
feedback.
Custom feedback.
There. Oh yeah. So
Yes.
this is just, yes. So this is your rubric that you're creating. You can edit this word. So let's say you're teaching Spanish, right? And you want them to introduce themselves, and say where they are from. One of your criteria might be their pronunciation of the words, right?
Okay. Yes.
So I can come in here and say pronunciation of Spanish words, right? Student pronounces all words correctly in Spanish, right? That would be the criteria description, and then give them a score, a 1 to 10, okay? And then say update, pronunciation of Spanish words. I would say Spanish words, not word. And then hit update. And then you could add another criteria, whatever that next one is.
All right.
Pasting, and then choose a maximum score for that one as well.
So basically, it helps you create a rubric for that.
It does. It creates a rubric that once we create a student video, I will show you, you'll be able to grade it right inside of there.
Okay.
All right. It's kind of a neat feature. I like it. So we can use that custom feedback rubric as well. And you just select which ones you want. You say update topic. Let me see what I'm missing here. Oh, guest password. So did we talk about guest password? I don't think I did. If you are looking to have somebody from the outside of Fort Lee join in your group or your topic, just specifically a topic. If, for example, let's say you had like a guest speaker that you want to come in. I know in the middle school, we do Pizza with a Professional, and Miss Brigida does an excellent job of recruiting all of these people from workers from around, New Jersey and New York and this area, makeup artists and people who set up the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And they come in and they do like a live presentation, basically talk to our students in the library and go over what they do. And sometimes they'll show some things and all of that stuff. And they do it in person. Well, now there's not going to be any of that in-person stuff going on. So what we could do is kind of flip that and add them as a guest speaker through a Flipgrid, and we would give them a guest password. So I would just make up a password of like Fort Lee 20 here, and they would get the link to this particular topic. And I would say, they don't have an flboe.com password email, so they're going to try to log in. It's going to ask them for the guest password, and they would type this in, and then they would have access to go in and create a video of themselves, maybe talking about their career and what they do. And this would be a way of us virtually sharing out what they do for their careers, and we could actually have each. I'm actually brainstorming right now as I'm thinking, because I work with Miss Brigida on this. What we could do is she could run a live series with them through Google Meet, but then we can have each presenter create one little flip blurb, maybe like a minute and a half of an overview of what they do, and create that in our topic, our group and our topic, and then students will, in the whole school, would have access to that throughout the year and be able to kind of, it's like a library of all these different careers. So that's what you could use this guest password for if you wanted to have, I don't know, the mayor come in, or a police officer, or a fire. I know in the elementary schools sometimes you have like guest speakers, or an author for a library, that kind of thing. That's what you could use this for, so that it was still safe. And then you would click update topic. Okay, so now we have a topic, and we have a group. We have a group and we have a topic. So we need to create a response as a student. So I'm going to show you what it looks like as a student. Let me go back over to my PowerPoint, make sure I didn't miss anything here. We talked about grids, we talked about topics, we talked about setting the access and sharing. Yep, we're on target here. So let's go in here as a student. Here is, it says view as a student. Here is the join code. So we're going to jump in, and this is what the student will say, Flipgrid training. And here is the topic. How will you use Flipgrid? And what's nice is there's this little immersive reader. You can click on that, and it will read.
How will you use Flipgrid with your students?
It will read that. So students have the option of clicking on that and having it read to them. There is a Flipgrid. Oh, that's my, remember I put that link there, my attachment. There's my attachment that I included for students to help guide them with the with my topic, right? So that's my question, and here's the help center in case while you're answering this question you need help. Here's my resource that I gave you, the link I gave you, my attachment. So that's right there. And here's my little intro that I recorded. So I want to know how each of you will use Flip. There's my intro, and the student would see that. And then simply right now they would just click right here, and you'll notice it says moderated, which means that students' responses are not going to be posted automatically. You can either, the student will either click here or here, and it will bring up the video interface. And it tells them right away, record, you have 1.5 minutes to record your video, and that the topic is moderated. Click anywhere to dismiss. So now the student has these options. So we're going to go through all of the options here. This is the fun part for students. So if you click under options, they can upload a clip. If it's an MP4 or a MOV or a WebM, and they have availability of that. So if they've done something on their phone, if they've created, like some of them like to do things in Snapchat or Instagram, the older kids, and because they have some cool filters in there, they may want to upload something they've already done outside of Flipgrid. Obviously, it has to be appropriate, and you will be approving it. That's one option. Then the second option is to mirror the video. Good side, bad side, you can flip your video. The next option here is your audio. They can turn on or off their audio. So it defaults to on. If you click that, it says recording without audio, which means it would only be video being shown, no sound would be shown. If they click the next one, it would turn off the video and only the audio would be shown. So students who are camera shy might want to turn off the video altogether, but there are some other options that they can use besides turning off the camera. So let's take a look at those. And that comes under the effects section right here, all of these effects. So the first effect is called a filter, and I love filters. They're fun, and there's a bunch, black and white. I like the sunset one, I think is a nice one. If they really want to go incognito, students can use the pixel effect, and you'll see right away, you can't see me at all, but they'll still be able to, when they record, this will be recorded and their voice will be recorded, but obviously you're not going to see anything. There's Lego pixel effect as well. Some little kids might like that. And there's like alien, I look totally aliened out there. Okay, so that's that effect. If we go to frames, now we can get fun and add unicorns and underwater, and you know, we can just be like all kinds of crazy. This kind of goes with my other effects, so I'll leave that. Or news, remember we talked about, look at that. Now they look like they're recording on a news channel. I think that's a pretty neat feature right there. Or you can clear it out and get rid of it, but I like this one, so I'm going to leave that. The next effect is emoji, and there are a ton. You can search the stickers right up here. So if you want anything that shows happy, these come up for happy. And then you would get the sticker, and you can resize it. And so kids, what they can do is they can essentially cover their face while they're recording. Remember, we're not even recording yet. We're just setting up. So if they're really camera shy, they can just put this giant emoji in front of their face. Nobody will see their face, and they can proceed on. So besides that, we have text. They can also add some text here in these different types of fonts, typewriter, neon, superpower, whatever it is. And they just type their text right there, and then they can move it around their frame, and they can resize it and flip it and do all of those, and they can copy it. You know, there's all of those features that happen as well. So we have our hello up here. We'll put hello right there. They can change the color of the font inside of there, the color, the type of font, the color, the stroke, the background. They have all of those things that they can play around with. But I feel like I have a good color scheme going here, so I'm okay with it. So if we go down, back from text styles, go back a little bit more. Okay, so now we're back. Now we have draw. If they'd like to draw something, they can select their color that they want to draw in and the thickness. And this works well because I have a surface. Not everybody has a surface to do this, so you might not be able to use this. But if they have something where they can touch, they can do it with their mouse. If they don't have a finger touch, this is with my mouse. I'm not as good with my mouse, but I'm not terrible, not bad. They can draw right on their screen as well. So that's that feature. They have the option to bring up a board, and there are all these different types of boards so they could hide their face altogether and not be seen at all, and only the board be seen. Chalkboard. I have an effect on top of this, so you're seeing the effect and the board kind of dual. I have the frame, I should say. Right here we have, I'm going to move this out of the way and resize it. Move this over. Right here we have a grid for math. If you wanted them to graph something, if you wanted them to write something, if you wanted them to draw something, any of these things. So they would have access to this while they're doing their video. What is also nice is this split screen feature down here. Look what happens. Now my picture peeks in over here. I can move my emoji down and cover my face like that and put my effect down, and I have this side of my board that I'm showing and maybe demonstrating and going to be drawing or doing something on that side, whereas this side my face is being hidden, and that's the board feature. If you don't want the board, you can go over here and say clear board, and the board would go away. Otherwise you would keep it. Oops, let me go back over here. And the last one is a photo. So they can upload a photo that they've taken or that they might have on their Google Drive or brought in. We use this, I know, the photo feature in the Spanish classes in the middle school when they had to talk about their favorite pet. And it could be either a pet they actually had or a pet that they wish they had. So they uploaded a picture of their actual pet, or got a picture from Google about an animal that they wish they could have as a pet. And they added that here, and that was the custom sticker. And some of them made that sticker big enough to put over their face. Some of them put them side by side with them there before they did the recording. So once all of those kind of effects are finished, you are ready to record. You're going to click right down here. So I'm going to, before we do that, two things up here. Show topic. So if the kids want to know what the topic is about and be reminded, these are the directions right here. These are the help resources, the attachments that I added when I created the topic. So they have access to that while they're making their grid and recording. And they have access to the written directions. That's up here. Below it is the sticky notes that I talked about. This is where they can, put their directions or their script and type it, up here, so that when they do their video, they're not fumbling for the words or trying to remember what they wanted to say, and they're not looking down at a piece of paper. Their eyes are straight up at the camera. So I'll just write state your name, say what subject, grade, and then a way that you will use Flipgrid. And these are my notes, so I'm not worried about spelling or capitalization because it's for my use. So I'm going to move this in an area that's not going to bother me. And then I'm finally going to hit the record button, and it's going to count down. And I'm going to say, hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Spawn, and I'm a media specialist in the middle school for 7th and 8th graders. And one way that I love using Flipgrid with my students is for them to share their book talks with each other. I love it when students talk about a book that they've read and give a real quick video review and overview, and even show the cover of the book so that other students can find a book that they would be interested in reading. And that's one way that I love to use Flipgrid with my students. Thanks. And you would simply hit stop right there when the video is done. And then you would hit next.
And I'm going to say, hi, everyone.
There's my video.
Is Mrs. Spawn, and I'm a media specialist.
So that's my video. It's loading. It's recorded. If for some reason I needed to add more, I would click the add more button. And I would click on the recording again. It counts down. So if you forget to add something, you can always click on the add more button on the next screen, and it will bring you right back here, and you can continue talking in your video and fill in any gaps that maybe you left out. That can be placed either at the beginning or the end of your video. And then click on the stop and then go next. And here we go.
Say hi, everyone.
And now I have my first video clip and my second video clip. And what's nice is on this editing screen, I can rearrange my video clips. So I can put this first.
Something, you can always click on the.
And I can move it down here. If I click on the clip itself, it brings up.
Hi, everyone. My name.
It brings up the video editor, and I'm able. It's not a very robust editor, but it does allow you to clip the beginning of the video and the end of the video, and that will readjust the video there. And then you would confirm those changes, and it would clip that there. It would clip that. I don't want to clip it. I'm going to hit confirm, and you can do the same thing on your second video clip as well, and clip it a little bit at the end. You clip it and hit confirm.
And I'm going to say
once, if you needed to, you could add more. If they forgot, wanted to do another clip, they could add more as well. Once
add button?
I'm sorry.
Where is that add button?
Right here. Do you see the red add?
Yes, I see it.
Right there. Yep. And that appears right there, so they can continue to add more. Once they're all finished, they're going to click on next. And they have to shoot a selfie at this point. So smile for the camera. Oh my, let's redo that. Okay. And what they can do now is add effects to their selfie. All of these filters and frames and emojis and all of that and text, they have the ability to add that to their selfie as well. And they can block out their face if they choose to, and they can go next. And now it's uploading the video. And I like to tell students to type in their first name followed by their last initial. If they had any link that they wanted to include to a Google Doc or something that related to their video and they wanted to share that with you, they could include that there. They can also include a title for their video. And, that's optional as well. And then finally, they're going to submit the video. They'll get a success right here. It says your video is hidden until approved by your educator. Visit myflipgrid.com to view your videos and any educator feedback. So they would have to log into myflipgrid.com with their FLBOE account, and that's where they'll see their videos that they've posted and any of their peer videos that teachers have also allowed to be not hidden. And we're going to take a look now what it looks like from the teacher side as well. You're going to see here, this is now the student dashboard. I'm still in as a student, but right here it says video submitted. Your video will be hidden until approved by your educator. Because remember, when we did the options, we said that we wanted to moderate the videos. We didn't want students to just be able to automatically post. So this is what they will see while they're waiting. They could record another response if they wanted. There's no limit to the number of responses, but they would be waiting. Nothing is posted until I approve it. So now I'm going to go in as an educator on my particular topic here. I'm going to refresh my page as the teacher. And you'll see that now I have one response from a student right here waiting, and it is a hidden response, and it's waiting for me to click on hidden and make it active. But I'm not going to do that until I look at the video and I make sure that the video is okay and appropriate and that they follow directions. If that is the case, I can go right here and make it active. That's one option. I can share this video to Google Classroom with a QR code that's specific. I have a link right there. It's a private share link. I can do that. I can share that out. I have this actions here. I can edit. I can do a bunch of different things here as well. I can delete their response. I can duplicate their response. You could download their video. I could download their selfie. If I hit edit response,
And I'm going to say, hi, everyone.
Maybe they spelled their name wrong or they wrote something wrong in, the name or whatever it is. I can edit any of that as well. The email address, the title, if they didn't include a title and they were supposed to, I can add that in, etc. Let me cancel that. Actually, is it going to let me? I think it's waiting for me to edit. Okay, I'm just going to update. And then let me come back out here. Here's the response. So if I click on this response,
And I'm going to say, hi.
I click on this separate tab here. I'll zoom in. You'll see there's a feedback tab. Now I can give and use that rubric that I created earlier. You'll see right here, it says pacing and pronunciation of Spanish words. So now I can type the score in and give a rating to that student based on what they did. And here are the private comments that are going to go directly to the student. Great job. Okay. And I can even copy the feedback link and send that right out to the student, or I can have it be automatically emailed to the student. This was sent to my email at FLBOE, and I can just show you real quick what that would look like in my Gmail, which, because I've been doing training for the last few hours, is I probably have, look at all those emails just from today, people. This is what I do. Okay, so there's my educator feedback. That's how quickly it says you have new feedback right here, feedback link. It also provides, there's the link with a summary of the feedback that I just gave to that student. And they can even have it played
Great
for them.
job. Your scores. On pacing, you received a 6 out of 10.
There you go. So it even verbalizes the feedback, and it gives a little summary in the email as well. And it includes the video. Looks like it includes the selfie. It says view in topic, view in my Flipgrid. So the kids can automatically kind of, boom, go right back into their topic or their Flipgrid that they've been in. And if there are other, they have to log in with Google, click on their email, and then they're brought back in to their grids. This is me because I've done other things as well. This is our Flipgrid training group that we're in, my 4 videos. So here we go. They can see their video, their response, and all of that there. So that was because, now, let me see if I made it public. I don't know if I did that yet. Let me go in here. Let me get rid of some of these little things here. Get rid of that. I've got a lot going out here. Educator, here we go. That was under feedback. That's where we did all of that. The feedback was sent. We have the edit option, which we already kind of looked at, where you can change any of that. Otherwise, you would go back out to here. And remember, the last thing we want to do is go from hidden to active. So right now it was hidden. I sent them feedback via video, but on their dashboard, it was still hidden. Now it's active. So if I come over here and I refresh as the student, now they can see their video in their Flipgrid kind of topic board where they're able to access Flipgrid, and they have access to their video. And they can, comments, like,
hi, everyone.
there's
My
the
name
likes.
is-
The likes are limited. There's no dislikes. So it's very positive. There's no comments on that particular video. I could add a video comments, because I think I did that. So this is when you can have students responding to other students on topics and get this large scale conversation going. They can respond to their own videos or they can respond to other videos. I'm not going to do that now because I already did the whole video thing. And let's go out. Let me take a little break and see if I have some questions here. So who has questions on what I've shown you so far before we move forward? That's kind of like the technical part of how to create a Flipgrid. So far we learned how to create a group, how to create a topic under a group, how a teacher records a video for a topic, how a student records a video for a topic, and how a teacher grades a topic and gets it from going from hidden to active so that students can see this. Any questions?
Cian?
Yes, Bessie.
Does
Nicole Boot, hi.
Oh, all right, Nicole and then Bessie. Go ahead, Nicole.
Sorry. Do teachers have the sticky note option on making their videos just like the kids do?
I believe so, yes. They should have all the same options when you're creating. Let's go in and look right now when you create your video. So if we're creating, let's go in here and let's see my topic. Let me go to my main Flipgrid over here. Here we go. Let's, what do I want to do? Let me see, actions. No, I don't want to edit. Go out of here. Come on. Here we go. Edit a topic. No, let's go back to here. I'm going to add a topic here. Okay. So add a topic and type your title in and the question. Just going to go quick. And then when we come down here, record the video. This is what we're looking for. Let's see if we've got sticky note option. I don't know. Maybe you don't have sticky note option here. We're going to go over another option you have, but I don't see sticky note for when you're recording this particular video, but I'll show you where you do have the sticky note option. Let me go out. As the teacher in the Flipgrid right here, I'm the teacher. No, this is me as the student. Let me go in as the teacher now. Let me go back. Back. Let me go, Flipgrid. Let me just go back to the beginning here. Log in. So you can see as the teacher, when you create the topic, how will you use Flipgrid? And I go in here. I'm in here as the teacher. I can add right here. I should be able to, this is my response. And let me go down here, add comments. I'm trying to see, I should be able to add a video as the teacher as well. Let me just see here, actions, and maybe get that same, let's see here, edit, record a response. Here it is. Okay, so as the teacher, you're in here, you created this topic. You can edit the topic. Over here under actions, you can record your own response to the topic. So what I did was this video was recorded as like the inspiration. But under the inspiration, you don't have access to the notes. So instead of using a video here for inspiration, you could just put a picture or a Giphy or a YouTube link or something there. And then under actions, you would come to record a response. And now you'll see you have the sticky note feature right here. You have all those same features that the students have, the effects, and you also have that sticky note feature for your scripting. So and this is what I typically do. I typically don't record like the directions for the students. What I will do is I'll write the directions, put a video up there, and then I record I pretend like I'm a student and I record just like I'm doing now, my example, kind of what I expect the students to do with guidance. And that's when you have access to the sticky notes in here. So if that makes sense to you,
Great, thank you.
Okay, you can do that. But for this, when you're recording the directions, there's no sticky note for that one. Okay.
Thank you. May I ask one more question before I forget? Do you know if we can archive classes?
So there's no archive. I already looked that answer up from a prior question. You can hide them. You'll be able to hide any of the groups or any of the classes, but there's no groups or topics. That's kind of the equivalent to the archiving. There's no real archiving though.
Thank you so much.
And you can delete, of course. You're welcome so much. Who else? Bessie is next.
Yes, I have a question about codes. Each group has a different code?
Correct.
And does each topic have a different
Correct.
code?
Correct. So the benefit to having, you don't have to create any groups if you don't want to. You could just go in and create a topic and share that code. And anybody that has that code in all of your classes would have access to that topic. That's
But
one.
each topic is a different code.
Correct, a different code. The benefits of creating a group is that if your students have access to the group code, they will have access to every topic underneath that group. So now you don't have to share individual topic codes. You just share your group code, right? And you say, and if you put notices in there, the student will get a notice when you create a new topic under that group, right, via an email. And then they know to go in and there's a new topic that they have to answer. So you can do it you could share the group code and the topic code, or you can just share the group code or just the topic code.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? You're welcome. Other questions? Before I move on, we have to go to our second half here. All right, good. So let me go to the PowerPoint here to see where we were up to. So obviously there's a lot of social learning going on here. You know, you have students talking to each other, interacting with each other, you know, and it's got a lot of the social media behind it. Let me hit present. Oops, sorry, present. Okay, there we go. That's kind of what, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you a couple of samples from some of the topics that we've done with the middle schoolers so you can get an idea of how they post, because it's really fun to see. But we're going to talk about, let me do that first before we talk about how it's used, because I think that's kind of interesting. So let's go in here and let's look at and we'll look at some of the teacher responses too. Let's go in here, Field Day Friday. I want to go to Spirit Week. So we used it for Spirit Week and Field Day in the spring, and it really went over quite well. Let's look at this one. So this topic today was Take a Look at Me Day, and kids love to be the center of attention. So we did a day called Take a Look at Me Day, and they had to choose one of the following activities to participate in. Either take a picture, a video of themselves doing a TikTok-like video, which if you're not familiar with TikTok, you can kind of check that out. That's the app that supposedly has been banned in some countries because the Chinese have some kind of, I don't know, access to iPhones or something like that. But the kids actually, especially the older kids, they all watch TikTok videos. I mean, my husband's like a TikTok addict as well. He watches. I watch for a lot of the recipes on there. You can get really good recipe ideas. He's laughing at me because I called him a TikTok addict. He's not really an addict. He just enjoys it. It's fun. It's kind of brainless. You can just sit and watch it and be entertained. Show and tell. They had an option to do some kind of show and tell, something from their house, chilling in their PJs, snap a picture or video of themselves, their favorite food, share their favorite food or recipe, or their favorite at-home activity or hobby. So it was like all about me. These were the kids that kind of participated, and there were a lot. And you can see right here the views that each video got: 57, 55, 31, 70 views, 72 views, all of this. So let's just click on one of these to see. That one I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Hey guys, I'm Lucky and this is my sister Delilah. Hi. And I'm going to show you how I do gymnastics and I'm going to sing. And every day I do this, and I usually bake because that's what I like to do. And I draw.
So now we're getting the gymnastics demo. Look at these kids. It's great. Go to another one. Oh, they're back.
I'm Lucky and this is my sister Delilah.
Let's do a different one. My internet die? No, not yet. Here we go.
Hi guys. For Spirit Week, I'm going to show you the activities that I like to do.
Look, she put the words and the picture of the book. These were all separate clips she did, singing.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter.
Who is this girl? She's amazing.
Amazing. Why? Because she's singing Kate?
I think so. That was awesome.
She's Leah.
Hello, Team 5A. Today I'm going to show you something interesting in my room. Interesting in my room is, ta-da, I have a whole collection of the cameras from the 1900s.
Wow.
Take a look.
So, I mean, I think this is pretty amazing. This was for fun. The kids participated. And
They look amazing, right?
you can tell they just love like being on, and if they don't love being on camera, they especially love talking about themselves. I mean, who doesn't love to talk about themselves, right? We all do. Kids especially. So I don't know, it just generates so many ideas. And I feel like with the possibility of being full virtual, which I'm very hopeful that that's the direction that we're going in for safety purposes, I do feel like we can provide a quality education and connect with our students with an application like Flipgrid. I really do. I think we can make those connections that I know some of the baby, you know, teachers of the little babies, you know, the kindergarten, first graders maybe are looking for. I've heard from kindergarten teachers saying, I want to see my kids. Well, you can see them through Flipgrid, and you can have these introductions in addition to the live Google Meet and Hangouts, have them kind of prep up and do something and give a little intro of themselves, and share. And then the kids can see each other in that environment and as well, and watch the videos. I could probably sit here all day and watch these videos. They're so cute. They're so fun. This was from the intermediate school, these kids. So they're a little more exciting to me than the middle school sometimes. They're so innocent in a certain way compared to middle school. This is TikTok. She's doing TikTok. Very nice. So if you haven't checked out TikTok, a lot of little short blurbs of music with some hand, you know, like little dance moves that kids do. Adults do them all the time. And here's a kid doing like a little TikTok video. So that went over very, very well. So that was that. It's also been used. Let me show you what it looked like in Spanish class, because I have some amazing Spanish teachers that I love working with in the middle school, because they're always willing to try new things. And they've been using Flipgrid for the last couple of years. Where are all their grids? I feel like they're down. I might have to go. Let me search. It's easier to search up here. Search topics. I don't know why I'm not. Francisco. You just search, especially when you have that many. Okay, so let me find her Spanish one. There's still a lot because of the homerooms. I got to get rid of some of these. Let me go to groups. Francisco. Here we go. All right, so we've got Spirit Week. Here we go. Here's Spanish classes. So we have 58. This is Mrs. Francisco. She teaches 8th grade Spanish, and with her students, she talks about, to get them talking about famous Spanish people. So they do a little bit of research on a famous Spanish person that they choose from. There's a whole list of people they can choose from. And then they have to do these little short videos. So if we take a look, a little peek at what these students have done.
Hola, me llamo Jessica Alba. Soy de Pomona, California, pero mis padres son de México y Europa. Yo tengo 38 años. Mi cumpleaños es el 28 de abril. Yo estoy casada con Cashwan.
Hola, buenos días. Me llamo Alex Rodriguez. Soy de New York City, pero mis padres son de la República Dominicana.
Buenos días, me llamo Pedro Flores. Yo soy de Puerto Rico. Yo tengo 85 años. Mi cumpleaños es el 9 de marzo.
Hola, me llamo Celia Cruz. Soy de Cuba. Tengo 77 años.
Wow.
Mi cumpleaños es el 21 de...
Buenas tardes, me llamo Lucrecia Martel. Soy de Argentina. Tengo 52.
Buenos días, me llamo Camila Cabello. Yo soy de Havana, Cuba.
That's just not fair. She definitely speaks Spanish.
Hola, me llamo Sonia Sotomayor. Soy de New York, pero mis padres son de Puerto Rico.
Excellent. You get the idea with that, though. I mean, that's just like a great assignment. So now they're taking the Spanish and they're applying it and getting to practice the language. And you'll notice, hopefully you noticed that nobody was looking down at a piece of paper. Oh, I think my camera is still off, right? Let me turn my camera back on so you can see me. Nobody was sitting and looking down at a piece of paper. They were all looking up at the camera, which is, you know, makes it much more presentable when they're doing that. And that's that sticky note feature that they were taught how to use. So that's why I love that feature. I just want to be able to see all of you. I hate this. Sometimes it unpin. Let me unpin myself. There we go. Now I can see all of you. So I love that. She also did a project, Mis Rutinas Diarias. So create their own daily routine using examples from the video, Rutinas Diarias en Español. As a reference, write 10 daily routines in Spanish, write the time each routine takes place. So she left all of the directions here for them. She could have probably, I don't see the video linked here, so I could probably school her a little bit on how to link the video here so that they would have access to that video right here. And she does include a nice tip. Inside your Flipgrid, click and use the sticky note feature to type your script in Spanish so that you can look right at the camera. So that was her tip for her students. And then she has all of these responses.
Me abro los dientes a las 10:30 en la mañana.
So that, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get the idea. And the clarity. The videos look great. I mean, I think they did a great job with the videos. You can just go through and see it's the same kids, same class. In the hood there. She's in the hood, hanging out. Okay. So on that note, if we go back over here, this leads us to how we can use Flipgrid. And there are so many different ways that we can use Flipgrid. This is a little chart and it's in the PowerPoint. I will include the PowerPoint in our Google Classroom for our professional development, which I'll share the code so that you have it if you haven't joined that class. And this gives you all kinds of ways to incorporate. And I'm going to show you how Flipgrid also will connect you with ideas so that even if you can't come up with an idea, you can kind of steal someone else's idea and start there. But you'll notice, let me just, here we go back here. For pre-K to 8 in high school, I mean, there's so many fun things you can do. Icebreakers, goal setting, book talks, commercials, family connections. You know, you have students talking about their favorite meal from their culture, you know, to inspire sharing among different cultures and how we're all different and how we can all like kind of maybe benefit from each other and learning about each other, what we eat or what we do or what's our favorite pastime, that kind of thing. Aha moments, think alouds, reflections, great for a student to reflect on maybe their writing or their thinking, how they did a math problem. So they got the answer, but now they need to explain it in detail through the Flipgrid. They would need to do that. That would make them think a little bit more. Virtual physical field trips. You can do it that way as well. You could have a student take you somewhere else. And I'm going to show you how you can record your screen so that you could even create a virtual field trip for your students through screen recording and then post that screen recording in your Flipgrid as well. Students in ELL, ESL classes can practice their fluency in phonics, or if they're learning a new language, same kind of thing like we saw there. You can set up these kind of flip hunt adventures, compare and contrast. You can make something fun with karaoke. So how could you use karaoke in a class, in a history class? Well, you could have students take a song that they're, you know, used to singing all the time, a popular song, get rid of the lyrics and write their own lyrics to explain a topic in social studies like the Constitution or the Mayflower or any, you know, whatever topic it is that they're learning about or about voter rights. And they now have to come up with a song and then they have to perform that song in Flipgrid. And then students each have a different little topic related to whatever you're learning about. And now that Flipgrid, that group can see all of those other videos and they can use those videos to learn about those topics. Instead of just listening to us sit there and lecture them about a topic, the students are teaching each other about it and they're doing it in a fun way through songs, more likely that they'll even remember it. Phys ed, this is a big one at pre-K and high school. You, especially with virtual learning happening, you could set up and do demos and do even like an exercise routine or like you saw the one girl doing the gymnastics. You could kind of do some kind of demo or do like a daily stretch routine in the morning. Here's our morning daily stretch. Share your daily stretch with each other. Whatever it is, come up with some ways that you can do physical education demonstrations. Newscasts, that's pretty obvious that you can do that. Guidance counselors or people that are trying to guide new students, advice for new students, tips and tricks for students who are entering into intermediate school from elementary school. That's a big change. or going from middle to high or intermediate to middle. So a video could be kind of made with tips and tricks that they can have, and then students can kind of respond to that and maybe share their own ideas for how they can be successful. Maybe we can get older students giving tips and tricks to younger students and share that grid or that group with the younger students so they can watch the videos ahead of time. There are so many different ways that you can use this. The guest speakers is another one. I do have, let me go over a couple things before I get to this camera shy things here. I do want to go back to Flipgrid, the main page, and show you. Let me log in again and just show you here. So let's click on Discovery right here. And this is where, if you click up here, View All Topics, you can search. There's over 24,000 topics right now that are available. You can search by subject, audience, and topic. So if I just choose a subject like history, and I choose elementary school, right now I'm down to 261 topics. And then I can even narrow it down even more. Maybe I want to, I don't even know a topic for what they learn about there. Do they do pilgrims still? I feel like that was like way back in the day. No pilgrims. Not really sure what elementary history topics. Citizenship, maybe. Citizen, let's try that. Okay, so here, global citizens, becoming a great citizen, writing, ancient writing. Okay, there's a bunch. So let's go with becoming a great citizen. So here is a topic that was created by a teacher for elementary ages 5 to 10. The subject is history. And it says, welcome to Flipgrid. Tap the green, record a response. To open up the Flipgrid camera, record your short video thoughts about, as a citizen, how can you support the government? What are the ways to become a great citizen? How do you become a good member of the community? Happy sharing. And then there are some notes. In this time of pandemic, observing a good citizen characteristics is expected of everyone. Encourage students to share their thoughts. Let them share their thoughts on how great citizens behave in a community. How can they be a great citizen? Now, you can add this topic and edit it. I do see some grammar errors here, so I would definitely add it. You could share it with a colleague, you know, copy and paste that link. You can save it to your favorites or to a collection. Like if you wanted to do like elementary school history, you could create a collection, and I would name it like History ES Elementary School. And then I would add it to that particular collection. Or I could add that topic and I could add it to any of these, you know, other topics that I have, or I can do it as a new topic there, individual topic. It's not going to be part of anything else. And then I'm brought to this edit thing here where I can make any of the corrections. I can change the picture, the video moderation, all of that, and kind of go in and edit it. It's so easy though to find something that's already curated, so to speak, and edit it. And then you have your topics and your collections here. Let's see what other topics. Is there a topic that anybody from high school here want to share, like a topic, which subject area? And I'll do a search so that we see high school. We have ELA, right? I think I see ELA, language arts. So let's do language arts and let's do high school just to see what comes up and get rid of the word citizen and see what comes up there. Okay, so here we have making inferences. Say, hello, my name is, then share your response to the video and these questions. What does the dog do? How do you know the dog killed the cat? Why did the dog give the man a bag of chips? So there's a video that they have to watch. What a great video. What a great video as your thing here. And this is a great way to teach about inferences instead of, you know, getting up there and just giving the definition and being really boring. This is a great video. The kids are going to watch it, and now they're going to respond to this video with these few questions. What did the dog do? How do you know the dog killed the cat? And why did the dog give the man the bag of chips? So that's really fun. And this is a ready-to-go lesson that would be appropriate even for middle school, even for the younger kids. I think they would get a kick out of it. It's really funny. And you can search through for, here's a Nevermore poem. Want some extra credit, record and share your Nevermore poem with your classmates. Make sure to speak where we can hear you, state your title, your theme, etc., etc. And then they're getting extra credit for that particular one. Obviously, All About Me, video journal, V for Vendetta. I know that movie is often shown in the high school level. My son watched that when he was in high school. Obviously, doing speeches, that's another way. Record yourself saying your speech and post it here a minimum of 3 times. Practice makes perfect. So that's how they have to learn to practice something. So there is poetry. I see so much here for high school, theater, performances, and that's just for one subject area. We can go to math as well for high school, and there is going to be a lot for math as well. Even though you don't think of math, math and nature. What is the math concept you feel is associated with the given picture? What do you know about this concept? So do we have any math teachers here who can reveal what concept is shown in these figures here? I'm not, I know what it is, but I can't remember the name of it. It has something to do with the shapes in here, right? Geometrics or something like that. So they would have to answer that question. So plenty of starters here for you to get going in case you don't even want to think for yourself, so to speak, right there. This is your activity board, just showing everything that you've done. I have a busy board because we used it for the field week. The mixtapes is where you can kind of grab, it's kind of like a playlist of all the different videos. You can do that. I want to show you shorts though before we go, and Grid Pals. These are 2 things. So shorts, did we start with shorts already? Remind me, because I did this twice. Did I go over shorts with you all? No. Okay, so I'll go over shorts. So shorts is the place where you can do a real quick video, and you can also record your screen. I love it. And right here is a little help guide if you need it. Right here, it's been updated. And let me go down to the bottom where it shares the updates. So now in shorts, you can create, trim, and rearrange your video segments like we saw in the other ones. You can upload your own videos from your device. You can activate something called whiteboard mode and use the live inking so that you can like actively like demonstrate something or mark up something on your screen. You can overlay photos that you have from your camera roll. You can use those emojis and text and stickers. And you can also use the filters and frames and all of that like we saw as well. So we get started by clicking on record a video. It loads the camera interface. Let me flip. I think my camera, oh, here I am. There I am. You have these options here. You can upload your own clip. You can mirror your video. You can change your, turn your audio on and off. And then you have all of these clips, all of these options here. You have your photo. Let me just see here where it says for the, oh, right here, record screen. Okay. So this is the difference right here. You have this record screen option. When you click that, it will start a screen capture. Select your entire screen, the application, or just a tab, depending on what you want. Click share. It will count down. And now I have my screen being captured. So you could technically create all of your little videos that you're doing to, you know, if you wanted to demonstrate something, go to IXL Math and show them something in that program there. You could bring that up, or if you wanted to go to Epic Books and read a book aloud to your students and sign in there and share a book, you can see my picture is down here. My screen is being recorded, and I can open up a book and I can start reading a book to students and have that recording kind of go and, you know, do whatever I need to do there. So once I'm finished, right over here, I come back. Let me get rid of some of these tabs here. I have so many tabs open. I come back over here, or I click down here under stop sharing. That's always visible there as well. I would just click stop recording. And then I can renew. I have my screen. I can review the recording. If I need to, I can add more by clicking on the red camera down here. If I'm satisfied, I can download that video right from here. You see the little cloud that will download it to my computer as an MP4, which means I can then take it anywhere and put it anywhere. I can, you know, watch it anywhere. I can upload it into Google Classroom. I can put it in a Google Slide like I did with my video. If I go to the next screen, I can edit it. I go first to selfie. So you'll smile, you'll take your selfie, then you go next. And, oh, I could have edited it. I missed the editing. I apologize. I blew through the editing, but you're able to edit the clip on the beginning and the end if you want as well. And then you get your link. You can copy the link. You can automatically post it in Google Classroom. You have your QR code. You can delete the video. Basically, you could use this. I did a Screencastify tutorial the other day. You could use this in lieu of, instead of Screencastify. So you don't get as many of the video editing features that you get in a paid Screencastify, but you get as much as you get in the free Screencastify. So it's a pretty neat feature that you have, and all of your shorts will appear here. So you have access to them, and you can, do what you need to do at any time. Here are your settings, captions, things like that you can use for that. So I love shorts. The last thing I want to show you is Grid Pals. Grid Pals connects you to a network of educators all around the country. So my profile right now is active. You have to go under Grid Pals and go and make it active, and it asks you a couple of questions. Very easy to do. So if I click it, it just asks your profile. You can put your bio in, where you teach, what you teach, and your location. Fort Lee, New Jersey, hit next. And then you can connect any social media, school social media, not personal. This is my Lewis F. Cole Media Center, Twitter. I don't really have any personal social media. And then I click Become a Grid Pal. And then I have this map down here, and I can search by grade and subject to find other librarians. That's a subject. And I can look for a subject here like technology. And you'll see it's narrowing down right away. And in New Jersey, here is a STEM teacher, librarian, Barbara McCarty in New Jersey. I can click here and send her an invite. She will get an email asking her to contact, that we can connect as fellow educators and share ideas through Flipgrid. So that might be good for it. Back in the day, we had pen pals, and you want to connect with someone even around the world. This doesn't just go to New Jersey. I mean, we can go across the country and maybe find someone in, let me zoom out a little bit so we can say over here, oh, we can go all the way up to Washington up top there. I don't know if there's any librarian technology people in other, oh, there we go. We can go all the way over here to Spain and connect with Anna Garcia, and she teaches world languages and information sciences to all these different grades, and I could connect with her. She has a YouTube channel, so I can go see her YouTube. Oh, it's not active right now. I did click earlier on a YouTube channel, and it did go to that person's YouTube channel, which was kind of neat. But she's all the way over there on the other side, across the ocean there. So that's kind of neat that you can connect with these other educators, whether they be local or around the world. And that's through the Grid Pals feature right here. So the last thing, I'm going to take some questions, and the last thing that you are tasked with, let's go over the camera shy real quick. A lot of kids might be camera shy, and you saw in some of the demo videos that kids put up, they're able to cover their face and stuff, so that's good. But one way to kind of build up is, and there's a whole kind of how-to kind of guide here that's linked under camera shy that you can open up and look at. I'll show you. But the basic premises are: start simple. Do something that's very easy, like they love to talk about themselves, have them introduce themselves. Or if it's like English, maybe what's your favorite book you've ever been read to, that's, somebody ever read to you, or that you ever read. Something very simple that everybody will have an answer to. Also, post your own videos. Kids love it when teachers make themselves vulnerable and they see their teachers posting a video inside of here, then they know it's safe for them to do it. You can have the kids record with their family members or a sibling or a buddy. You can have them use that pixel mode where their face is being hidden. You can have them use the whiteboard mode so that their face isn't showing and they're just putting pictures and stuff on the whiteboard. You can moderate the topics. You can use the sticky notes so that kids don't feel nervous about having to memorize something. You can have them interview a friend so they feel comfortable. Paper slide videos are kind of cool, and I'll show you an example of what that is. It's basically just they write a bunch of things on a piece of paper, and they go through the papers in the video. They can also do shapes and move shapes in and out. That's kind of fun. They can do the screencast, and then they can do app smashing, where they can combine things like that they're familiar with, like an Instagram and the filters that they use there, and then upload it into here and share it and add a little bit more in Flipgrid. Kids like to do that, especially at the older ages. Paper slide videos, if you've never seen any of those, you can just Google. I mean, here's a how-to on how to do a paper slide video.
How to make a paper slide video, you
Basically,
may ask. Answer that.
Basically, you just kind of talk, and as you're talking, you slide in a new piece of paper, and you make your video. You can create artwork, draw pictures, you can cut out pictures. There's all kinds of things. Kids love doing stuff like this. And in some cases, you can have kids collaborating. I mean, when we were all together, it's easier to do that kind of thing. Somebody could be filming, somebody could be the paper slider, and somebody could be the speaker for different roles like that. So that's another option for Flipgrid as well, to make it a little bit less intimidating, where they're not showing their face and they're still getting the information across. We went over the Discovery Library. These are all partners of Flipgrid, so there's a lot of ways that it connects to these other kind of applications. And when you go through Discovery, you'll be able to see some of this. And let me see here. What else do we want to do? Last question is, how will you use Flipgrid? So I've created a topic for all of you. And the QR code is here. You can get to it by scanning this, and this PowerPoint will be available in the Google Classroom, which I'll show you in a moment. Or you can click on this picture, and it will take us to our topic right here. How will you use Flipgrid with your students? Record a short explanation of 2 ways you will integrate Flipgrid. Start by introducing yourself, name and grade and or subject you teach, then share 2 ways you'll use Flipgrid. Add your stickers, filters, text, have fun. I have not received any responses yet. Hopefully some of you will respond after we're done here, so that you get some practice using that. You would just simply hit the record button there. So that's my assignment, quote unquote, for all of you, to get some practice using Flipgrid. If you need more help, you can see the help.flipgrid.com. They have a lot more resources there. I'm also available via email. This is their social media, the @ and the hashtag there. They're available on all of those platforms, and they do tweet out a lot of new ways. Teachers are constantly tweeting out different ways that Flipgrid can be used with students of all different ages, families. We could even use Flipgrid for like a virtual back to school night. I mean, that would be a kind of a cool thing. Or if you're doing like conferences and things like that, that's another idea, just to kind of mix it up and make it different. That's another way. So I'm going to bring up the Google Classroom code in case, and I'm going to show you how you can get a certificate for this workshop. It'll print and send right to your email. Jen Callahan, through her Google Forms, created something. I'm going to be posting a Google form in our Flipgrid classroom. As soon as we're done here, I'll post it today. I'll just show you what it looks like. You'll fill out this form. Just make sure it says the Flipgrid on it, that you're filling out the right one with the date and a little bit of an evaluation, and that you completed 2 hours. You'll hit submit, and you should, if it works correctly. I think you have to install, you may have to install the add-on called, let me look here, called Catchem. I don't know what it is. Let me see. She puts a video up here to explain, but I think you might have to install, right? Oh, Certify-em. Make sure you have the Certify-em extension, and you can get that, and it'll send you a certificate. Certify-em, I think, right here, G Suite, and you just install it. It's a Forms add-on. I don't know if the user has to install it. I installed it. I haven't tried to fill the form out, but you have to wait until I make a copy of this form. I'll put it in our classroom under our topic, which is down here under Flipgrid. You'll see a copy of it here sometime this afternoon. Fill it out, and you should get a copy of a certificate. If you don't, then you might have to add that Certify-em add-on feature so that the certificate prints. And the code for our classroom, in case you're not in, is this. So if you haven't joined our PD classroom yet, there's the code, and you'll have access to all of the videos. Today's PD was recorded, as are all of the other PDs. They're all recording their PDs as well and posting them in the Google Classroom. So take down this code and feel free to pop in and fill out that survey form, get your certificate, and any other resources you might need, and you'll be able to pop into some of the other trainings and see the videos there as well. So on that note, what questions do you have, and who would like to share how you would be using this with your class? Like, give me an idea of how you think you're going to use this in your class now, just verbally, so we can get some ideas. So Sophie, I'm going to put Sophie on the spot. How do you think you might use it at the high school level, Sophie? You got to unmute. Unmute.
I got it.
There you go. Go ahead.
Can
What
you
do
hear
you
me now?
Yeah.
So as you were talking, I was just thinking a lot of kids in my class, sometimes I have to even though they're in high school, they still like to be read to.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need that class discussion or that break after something happens in a text where they just don't read between the lines. And I think this would probably be a good forum for me explaining something that happened or asking a question and them responding to me. Because if we're not in class together, it's hard for me to, we're going to be teaching, if we do what we're doing with this hybrid, I'm only going to be teaching half my kids at a time. So this is a good place for us to maybe have a discussion that I could later share with the other half and not lose that conversation. So maybe the recording part and maybe the discussion of what the kids respond to will give me not just a better idea also, but also maybe I can transfer that and the whole group could actually see it at the same time, even though I'm not with them 5 days a week. Those other 2 days I don't see them, it could be a really good way to connect everybody. So I have to really think about, this is something really new.
Right.
The only thing I have a problem with and a question is now we do Google Classroom. We have to enter grades from Google Classroom to Genesis. So that's 2 sites we use. Then we have, then there's the email form. There's so many different forums now for us to use and try to bring in. There's Google Meets, there's Zoom, and now there's this. I'm I'm not overwhelmed because I'm a tech person. But I can see a lot of teachers getting overwhelmed. This is just another thing to click in and out of, another thing to check.
Just remember, this is optional. It's not required.
No, I know.
I think some people connect with this just because the reason why I like this is because it's very safe and secure and almost like nesty, where you create your group and then the kids have this little kind of place where they go. Like you said, you're kind of creating that community. But
I really like it. I think because there's so much to do. It's not limiting. I think it's fun for the kid, just the format. I think they'll find it interesting because, just like any kind of social media that they're attracted to, there's usually a lot for them to see and there's a lot to explore. I just have to put my head together and see what will be best. I don't want to overwhelm the kids because they're already overwhelmed. There's that handful that will catch on almost immediately. And then there are the ones who will be like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. So,
and just to I did tell the last group that they asked well, how are the students going to know how to use this? And I'm pretty sure I already created a how-to for the students, but when I get some time in the next few weeks, I will create a how-to for students and put that in the PD Google Classroom, and you can then share that with your students so that they know how to use it.
That would be really helpful if you did that.
So that the students know, hey, your teacher's going to share a code with you. Here's what you do. Click, log in with Google.
That's awesome. I was thinking that when you were going through your presentation, I'm like, how can I make this for the kids? Sheets and put them somewhere so they could see.
I'll do it, but feel free if you want to try it yourself. It does, by having to do what I did today, it forces you also to learn the program. So it's a twofold thing. But I have something I did in the spring, but I think I'll probably just redo it because I think that was more geared towards Spirit Week and it was very specific. So I'll do a more general one, not topic specific or anything like that, and show the students. So just give me a little bit of time. I have a couple.
Yeah, thank you. I would really appreciate it.
Ahead of
That would
that,
be
but
very
I will do
helpful.
that definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sophie. Anyone else? So let's hear from someone maybe from elementary school who would like to share. Is there anyone that would like to share from elementary to show what you might do with this for the kiddies, the babies?
Hi, it's Marielle.
Hi, Marielle.
I think it's a nice opportunity for them to share about something that they're an expert on. I know we do a unit of writing where they're writing about their expertise. So it's a good opportunity for them to show and present something that they have at home.
I like that. Definitely. Remember, that's a perfect topic because it's all about them. You saw those all about me videos. They were like all about themselves because, they are so me focused. So whenever you can connect, if you can connect curriculum to them, I think you'll be successful with them. Is there anyone here from the middle school? I don't even know because middle school, I know they've used it already. Is anyone here? Or intermediate school?
Hi, I'm at the intermediate school. My name is.
Oh, there we go.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm a resource room teacher and I teach ELA and math. I think it would be good for book clubs for ELA. And also I was thinking maybe to teach character traits, having the students act out the character and have maybe the other students guess the character
I
to
like
get
that
kind of engagement.
Fun.
In there. So I'm definitely looking forward to using it this year.
Awesome. I mean, for me, you can't go wrong. It's free. I don't know. Like I said, I think I said to either this group or the other group, it's a Microsoft product. And I'm very grateful that they are making it free, that it's not, if it were a smaller company, they definitely would have to make money. There would probably be ads in the way. There's no ads. There's really no interruptions. So it's a really nice platform, and it's crazy that it's free. I hope it stays free. A lot of times things that are free don't last, but this has been around quite a few years, and they do update it. Like they did add in that new shorts feature with the screencasting as well. So students also have that feature. They're able to do screencasting. So you can have students create demo videos or explanation videos and go in and, have to show something or present a PowerPoint, through this as well and post that, or have a group of them, present, a slide each on the PowerPoint and things like that. So they have that option as well. Well, if you have any question or comment, anyone else before we go? Yep.
So I'm a para at the middle school. I'm starting to work with a visually impaired student. I'm just wondering, would I be able to join the Google Classroom even though I'm not a teacher?
Yes, as long as you have a Fortly email address, you can use that code.
Okay.
So you just have to go to classroom.google.com and it'll ask you, there'll be a join in the upper right, a plus sign, click join and type that code in. And you'll have access to all the PDs and everything.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Definitely. Are you Alexa's aide?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, she's so nice.
I don't know how this will work with her, but we'll see, especially virtually. So
she can do it because she can record herself. She's not going to necessarily see herself being recorded, but she could record herself and share and speak and do all of those things. She might need assistance if she wants to do some of the add-on features, but I know she also has a special computer, so I don't know how it will integrate with her special keyboard. She's able to do a lot with that special computer. You would be surprised, like almost everything that every other student can do with that, isn't sight impaired. So she's pretty amazing. So I think she'll enjoy doing this as well. She's pretty outgoing. I know she's done morning announcements and things like that. So I think, and I believe she did this in 7th grade. This was the 7th grade ELA teachers do a little intro project using Flipgrid as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions, comments, anything you want to add before we wind down? I will post that. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to do the Google form. You'll see a copy of it under under Flipgrid, and you can fill that out, and then you should get a certificate emailed to you so that you have your 2-hour certificate and get your hours in.
Sian,
Yeah.
I have a question, Sian.
Okay, Molly, yep.
Yeah. So last spring, at the end of the school year, I took one of your trainings and learned how to do recordings on Google Meet. And I made instructional videos that way and sent them, posted them to Google Classroom for my students to see. But it seems like I can do the same thing, but through Flipgrid. This might be a replacement for that, or better with many more options.
You could definitely, instead of doing the screencasting, so Google Meet is going to give you the live, right? What we're doing right now. Flipgrid isn't live, right? So Google Meet would be for a live session, but as far as for like doing screen recording, right? You could use this for screen recording. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's what I was doing the other way. I was recording my screen.
You can do screen. Yep, you can do screen recording like we're doing right now with Google Meet, but you could do all of that in Flipgrid as well.
Okay. It seems like there's a lot more options to go with doing it through Flipgrid.
There are, and it's just fun. It becomes fun. I mean, there's benefits to both. Google Meet, it goes right to your Google Drive and saves there, and you have access. And Google Classroom. So there's benefits to both. I think as an educator, I know Sophie mentioned it, it's a lot of times there's so much you can do, and you just have to don't think of the big picture, I like to say, because when you think of the big picture, you will get overwhelmed very, very quickly. Just do what you're ready to do on that given day. So one day you might really feel like using Flipgrid, and the next day you might say, I'm going to have to use Google Meet, and that's okay. You don't have to commit to one and drop another, and you just kind of do what you're most comfortable with and what you feel like you're going to connect with the most. I'm just trying to provide everybody with enough options so that everybody feels like
You do? That's what my training is on. Okay. Sian, I can't hear you anymore.
Well, can you fix my computer? This is brand new. Hi, I'm back. Can you see me? Yes? Okay. Yeah, I froze initially for a minute. I don't know what the heck happened. So that's all I have. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming and spending the 2 hours. Please email me if you have any questions, okay? And just fill out that survey sometime after today. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.